Good evening, everybody. My name is Nintendo God, aka Lord Fluffy, and welcome back to the last part or two of Metroid Prime 2. Now, in the last episode, I finished off getting the items. Now, something you might notice is, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't look familiar. Well, the reason for that is, we're in the Sky Temple right now. Say, I had recorded to this part after, saving and stuff. Then I came up this little path of light here from down below. After putting all the keys in, it's basically just this cutscene you're seeing right here, only, with 8 more keys, because I had already put in one, or whatever. But now we're in the Sky Temple. Now, I would have more things to say, but the reality of the situation is, earlier today, when I was recording, I spent 90 minutes trying to beat this boss, only to be gimped by its utterly shitty design. And then I lost the next one because, for whatever reason, this one attack which I'm supposed to strafe to avoid, I could not avoid by strafing. So, beautiful game design, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, it's nothing really that special. The cutscenes, I mean, honestly, not really that great. Anyway, before we go into this, basically, here's a little clip of what was left of the footage that I didn't delete. Yeah. I was mad. Really mad. So, before I go into this, I need to respond to these people on my social media saying, recording, BRB. BRB, and here we go. Okay. So, basically, these last little fights here are bullshit. Really bullshit. Hey, look, tentacles. I know where this is going. Okay, no, I can't make that joke. I can't make that joke. I just really can't. I don't think anyone wants me to make that joke. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final boss of the game. The Ing Emperor. Or Emperor Ing, as the game so likely likes to call it. So anyway, basically the best way to deal with these fuckers is to stand back here and then fire the annihilator beam at his tentacles. And he does several different attacks, one of which is that low flying thing there. And once you've killed all the tentacles, this thing appears. It's the Emperor Ing's Eye. Now, the Emperor Ing's Eye is his only weak point in this phase. However, every time he fires that laser, you basically get screwed over. So, yeah, this phase sucks. This phase of the boss sucks like major dick. I'm just trying to see how many missiles it takes to kill these things. Or, you can just go into your little spinny phase. That's fine. I only wanted to experiment on something, but no, you gotta be a dick about it. Oh god, no, I'm gonna take more unnecessary damage. No, don't do this to me. Whatever, I'll just go to the annihilator beam. Because it's totally the annihilator beam and not the annihilator beam, guys. Fuck that laser, by the way. It makes, hitting this thing... he gets 3 lasers and then he goes right back. But there's only this small window where you can actually hurt the Emperor Ing, is the thing. And it closes up so fast that you basically have to spend a shit ton of time using missiles trying to kill these things before they... inevitably respawn. Okay, it goes twice now. Great, I forgot that. You either spend a shit ton of missiles, or you spend a shit ton of light and dark beam ammo using the annihilator beam to quickly dispatch of him before, before things get really hairy, so to speak. And sometimes hitting him is really hard. thing fucking changes directions, the thing opens and closes so much. Sometimes it's luck whether or not you actually hit him or not. Now here I get lucky. I do get lucky here. And now we go into the second phase, which is him just transforming into a goddamn egg. And then this phase is really dumb because you just spider ball onto him, you wait for these things to come out, and then you power bomb them. And there's all these tiny inglings as well around, trying to kill you while you do this. And they can knock you off the thing. It really gets annoying after a while. It honestly does. Because they sit around and do nothing but annoy you and try and knock you off, basically. This phase isn't hard at all, it's not. It can honestly be beaten without taking any damage if you play it just right. However, here you can see I did not in fact play it right. I just like to use power bombs because I never have to use power bombs after this point in the fight anyway. So it's easier to just use power bombs to dispatch of your foes. Unfortunately, it only works when you can actually freaking not get hit by things. Oh boy. But yeah, other than that, this is not really a hard fight at all. You kill 11 of these holes, and then he blows up, and you might think, oh, well, that was an easy boss fight, right? Nah. Here comes the hard part. The part that is, oh my god, it's so much bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, the third phase of the Emperor Ing, the mutated Emperor Ing. I love how that health recovery item is just kind of floating in the dark there. Seriously though, fuck this thing. There's a few reasons why I hate this thing, and let's start over with it. First and foremost, his only weak point is that little heart thing you can see inside of his so-called mouth. Now, this would not be such a big deal to hit if it weren't for the fact that the hitbox was not only inconsistent, but was also often blocked by his several forward limbs. And the fact that the lock-on abilities are the only real reliable way to hit him, but since he moves so much, and since there's only a tiny little window that's actually a hitbox for damage, you're very often going to get into situations where all of your shots, which are trying to get forward to him, are getting blocked. Now in this particular case, I'm getting a lot of good damage on him because I was given an opportunity to reliably hit his weak spot with the Annihilator Beam. However, this will not consistently happen. You need to wait for him to do moves where he stands still or opens his mouth wide enough for the hitbox to be hittable. Other than that, you're probably going to be sitting here and wasting a shit ton of ammo trying to get to a point that is otherwise really hard to do. Luckily for me right now, I'm getting a really good run on this guy. I am. A lot of what I've been throwing at him has been managing to hit him. This fight is entirely based on how lucky you are with your lock-on abilities actually hitting him. Otherwise, it becomes, oh hey, how long until his appendages block your fire again? Also, some of his attacks have very little wind-up and are extremely, extremely hard to avoid. Like that one. The most optimal way I can beat this guy is by using the Annihilator Beam and hoping my bullets hit him. That attack is supposed to be able to be ducked under, but sometimes it's just inconsistent about that. Honestly, you'd be lucky half the time to be able to hit it. But yeah, when he gets into this phase where his little heart, the heart can only be hurt by the opposite of what color it is, and if it's red, you have to hit it with the power beam. And any other weapon, you have to hit it a bunch until it stuns. You can hit it with any weapon, but the most optimal way to do it is to fire a super missile and then fire a missile right into his, weak point when it'll happen. But whenever he gets to get 25% HP, and then 50% HP, and then 75% HP, 25%, and 50%, he'll do a little stun phase thing where, he'll go right back into, oh, hey, you have to hit me with a certain amount of damage before this. Really, though, this fight is honestly one of the worst boss fights ever. And this is the biggest thing, too. Once you run out of ammo, you have to hit these things around him. in order to be able to gain back anything. But sometimes it doesn't give you what you really need. I mean, here it gives me what I need in a sense. Now here he'll be going back to his normal phase, but again, you have to hit these things that he spews out in order to gain back ammo. But there's so many times where he'll just sit around and it's like, oh hey, I'm gonna not expose my weak point, throw my front leg at you, and then block whatever shot you're throwing at me. There's a lot of design flaws with this boss if we're talking about it being a fair fight. It is, a lot of your ability to kill this boss is based off of luck. And that entire luck factor is exactly what keeps turning me off every time I do fight this boss. Because it's just not fun. Also, it's what ammo types he drops as well, in case it isn't obvious. Because if he doesn't drop the right ammo type, well, you're fucked. You need, like, plenty of ammo, and I mean this, you need plenty of ammo. Otherwise, you are not getting through this thing. Here he's going back to his regular form. It's all luck. It's all luck based on whether or not you actually get a hit. It's a stupid boss fight. It is. And sometimes you just won't turn around and then you think, oh hey, he's exposing his weak point. Nope. He's not exposing it. And I really hate how once he gets to a certain, like, HP percentage, he does that. Okay. Come on. Don't be a bitch. Let me hit you. Thank you. Give me the ammo. I know it's around here. Thank you. But look at how much is not actually hitting him, even though it's a lock-on ability. This is just a stupid fucking design for a fight. When you actually can hit him, it's not actually that bad, because he will go down and hit you, but it is, as I keep saying, a matter of are you actually able to hit him. It's so unreliable whether or not you're actually able to hit this guy. And your best options are basically whenever he's not doing anything, when he's standing still. But he rarely ever does that long enough for you to be able to reliably beat the shit out of him. And I hate that. I do. The Emperor Ing is easily the worst boss in this game. Like, straight up. It's worse than the Boost Guardian. I actually believe it's worse than the Boost Guardian. And the only reason I can really survive this fight in hard mode is the fact that I have every single power-up. Otherwise, it is easily the worst boss in this game. The worst designed boss. It's worse than the Boost Guardian. But, with that being said, this fight is over. And I am repeating I'm beating a dead horse by saying all these things, but... Hey, now that we've acquired the last of the planetary energy... Oh shit, the planet is kind of collapsing now. We kind of need to get out of here. Planetary condition critical. Escape at once. I do like this music though. This is good music. It's definitely got that feel of, oh shit, I've got to get out of here type of vibe. It's too bad most of the Metroid Prime soundtracks aren't really that memorable. I mean, there's good parts to each of them, but it's nothing you would, like, look back on and say, oh, you know, that was so great. I really liked, you know, when the music played in this particular fight or whatever. It's not often you hear that. It's really not. Anyway, this is the little cutscene thing that plays whenever you go by the... go by this thing. Well, we should be able to escape. I mean, 7 minutes is easily enough time to get to a portal, right? Well, not quite. Is the thing. You're noticing all this phase-on, and then... Oh, hi. Your path of escape is now blocked by phase-on. And Samus just kind of knows that, oh, hey. Hi there, Dark Samus. You have now become Skeletor. Alright, so, hello. Welcome to Dark Samus fight number 3. Now, Dark Samus is actually the true final boss of the game, and I don't like this fight, honestly. It's kind of the same old boring, tried, and dumb shit Dark Samus stuff you've been dealing with for like the last, I don't know, 2 fights. Also, for whatever reason, that tracked me way harder, way easier than everything else. Also, when she goes invisible, you have to use the Sonic Visor this time, and not actually the, You have to use the Sonic Visor this time, and not the Dark Visor, because she becomes immune to your Dark Visor. And she goes back into this phase where, oh hey, like, she just dashes around, waits for you to hit her a bunch, goes into this phase. This is literally the whole fight. Not kidding, this is the whole fight. Anyway, after you get her down to about 75% HP, she gets a new next form, which is Dark Samus form. Basically, she creates an energy field that is immune to all damage, and she spawns this little attack thing, which is bullshit. Like, you're supposed to strafe to avoid it, but I swear to God, you can't. Like, it'll hit you at random intervals for no good reason. And then this is the other attack she does. She fires a bunch of Phazon, which you're supposed to absorb into your charge beam, and then fire at her. She will then drop the shield momentarily, allowing you to hurt her momentarily. The best option here is to just fire a super missile. She would go right back to the center, being invulnerable, and go back into the shield. Rinse, repeat, until she is dead. This is one of the big reasons why I was never a fan of Metroid Prime's conclusion. Or Metroid Prime 2's conclusion is because it was boring, repetitive, and basically just bad. It was. It was easily the worst boss fights of this game, and easily the worst conclusion to a Metroid Prime game. It just didn't feel satisfying. I felt like it was luck-based, whether or not I beat the final boss, and then this was just a matter of whether or not, you know, you could out... And this was just a matter of how patient were you. Were you really... How patient were you and how quickly you could kill her? Because you can beat her easily in 8 minutes. It's just a matter of how often she does that little Phazon attack where you can absorb it into your charge beam. Now, she's doing it way more often than the last time I tried this fight in the previous recording session before rage quitting when I eventually died because of timeout because she never fucking did it! Ah! Alright, I'm supposed to hit her now. But yeah, you do small amounts of damage outside and then inside's the same thing. No, just no to these fights. If you get hit by too much of that Phazon, you will get stunned and lose the charge shot. But honestly, like, again... The last phase of the Emperor Ing is the worst boss fight in this game. And this is easily the most boring boss fight of this game. There's nothing to these fights. There's nothing to this fight. It's rinse and repeat on both ends. You just hold the button there, wait around to use either the super missile or have your charge shot become Phazon induced and then fire it right back at her. Sometimes if you get directly hit by the Phazon, you will get stunned and lose the ability to use that charge shot. And there's another one of those prime examples of, oh hey, I didn't get enough Phazon there. I'll need about one more to be able to fire it at her. But that was just a prime example of me strafing, but hey, you know, you're not going to get hit by it. Okay, now I got hit by the Phazon itself. Okay, I see how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to stand still and then dodge to the left or right. Okay, that's how you do it. This is what's been screwing me up this whole time. So you have to do even less movement. Good. Good to know. Good to know I can literally just stand here holding R and holding A and occasionally press B to dodge to the side. I think eventually once you get her down below like 15%, she never leaves the shield. I don't know about that, honestly. But I sure hope that's not actually the case. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think it's the case. Go back into your stupid shield, Samus, and let me kill you. Jesus. Fuck this fight. So much. Okay. Come on. Got enough. Okay, one more super missile or one more shot will kill her. And then this will be the end of the game. You still lose a shit ton of health though, like seriously. Just from like everything. And it's really stupid that the only way to harm her is to put yourselves in harm's way basically. So it can straight up screw you over. And there we go. That's it. We have, once again, defeated Dark Samus. And for the last goddamn time. Ah! Ugh. This almost made me actually feel, like, bad for Dark Samus. Because, like, the entire point is, like, oh, hey, you know... I'm dying. Feel pity for me. And you can see, like, it sort of looks like the old Metroid Prime, right? Well, that's the entire point. If you watch the 100% ending, it's like, oh, hey, it looks like the old Metroid Prime, kind of. But yeah, she just kind of reaches towards you and then fades into Phazon. It's like, okay, sure thing. I don't know what to feel about that. Kind of felt bad originally, but... oh, hey, that's still blocked. That's no bueno. And now there's Zing Warriors. But... Hallelujah! 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 Space jump boots! I'm gonna get you! I really do actually like the fact that this is how they kind of ended it. It's pretty climactic, honestly. I mean, after the Dark Samus fight, it's like, oh, hey, I've spent this last minute watching you die. Oh, hey, I could have possibly died, but whatever. Also, that's where that portal was. That portal was there for basically a plot point. That's it. It was there only for plot. You can see the Ing trying to get through, but Dark Aether collapses beyond them, and, you know, they die. Ing is dead. GG. No re. Now, this is what I don't understand is, oh, hey, did she give back the light suit when she came back through this light thing? Like, I don't get it. Did the light suit get absorbed into the light as she got rematerialized here? Like, I don't even get it. All I know is that she's back in her Varia suit. And there they are, the few remaining Luminoth that there are who are going to repopulate this planet. Until an asteroid comes and kills them. Thank you. No, this is kind of cool, honestly. She just walks away and waves and says, "You're welcome, bitches." No fucking pay. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my goddamn heart. This is always cool. Normally the reward for, you know, getting 100% was seeing Samus in her Zero Suit, but no, you get to see Samus in her Zero Suit anyway. I always felt like she looked like really, like, I don't want to say Asian, but the GameCube graphics of this kind of didn't make her seem like the sort of like white Caucasian that she's been more recently depicted as. Like in Metroid Other M, I can't believe I just said that, or, you know, the more Smash Bros. Games. Like the most recent Smash Bros. 4. I still like how she looks, obviously. I still think she's pretty, but holy, can I tell you, she just looks a lot more Asian than Caucasian, if you will. But yeah, that's Metroid Prime. Holy shit, I should have gotten this finished a long time ago. But I did not. And here we are. Well, that leaves the question of what I'm going to do next, right? Am I actually going to keep doing Let's Plays? It's very clear that I've been having issues with keeping up with that, right? Well, the reality is I do want to keep doing Let's Plays, but I've been streaming on my Twitch channel, you know, twitch.tv/LordFluffyX, a lot more. I've been thinking like streaming is kind of how I do things. I mean, it doesn't look that great because of my internet speed, but when I upgrade that eventually, when I can get a job and shit, you know, I'm hopefully going to be streaming in at least a decent 480p quality without it, you know, dropping at least. Maybe 720p if I can handle it, but who knows. But yeah, Metroid Prime 2. In a lot of senses, it's superior to Metroid Prime 2, but in the same regard, it's inferior. I felt like Metroid Prime 2's boss battles overall, generally speaking, like the boss battles that were there in Metroid Prime 1 were of better quality than in Metroid Prime 2. Metroid Prime 2's boss battles, for the most part, weren't that great. They were either mediocre, as, oh hey, I beat it, whatever, or they were just like straight up bad. There's only a couple of them in this game that I actually thought were pretty unique and pretty fun. So that's not really a good thing for this game. The atmosphere was definitely better, I felt. You know, there was definitely a sign of ruin. The dark atmosphere of like the ruins of Aether, if you will. That was great. It was better than how Metroid Prime 1 handled its atmosphere a lot. The normal enemy design was better, I personally felt, as well. But as a whole, I still think Metroid Prime 1 is the better game, if only because there's a lot less bullshit to deal with, and nobody likes bullshit. Like, nobody likes it. It's stupid. Nobody likes bullshit. No. No. No! You get the idea, though. I don't like bullshit. I never have, and I never will. If I had to, you know, rate Metroid Prime 1 versus Metroid Prime 2, I think I said in the, like, originally in my Metroid Prime 1 review that I gave it like a 7.1 out of 10 or something. That's actually a lie. It was like an 8.1. Like, if I were, that was like in my early stages of my rating system. If I had to say it now, I would give Metroid Prime 1 an 8.1 out of 10. Like, basically an 8 out of 10, but just the one extra point to say, I know, it's a great game. It's a great game, and has a little more, and it's, like, not just on the cusp of being a good game, a really good game, and just a great game, but whatever. The concept behind it is, if I'm just gonna, like, round it out, 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 to Metroid Prime 2. Metroid Prime 2, in the end, gets a 7.6. Again, the worst boss design overall. And the frankly harder to deal with 100% system because Dark Aether is a bitch to navigate sometimes because you have to go back and forth between Light Aether and Dark Aether. It feels more of a problem, basically, than it is actually... It's more of a problem to me, and it makes the whole 100%ing thing less fun and less rewarding to me than Metroid Prime 1. Yeah, I don't have to go through, like, 2 worlds in Metroid Prime 1, but at least in Metroid Prime 1, I don't have to go to a specific place to come over here, and then backtrack over here, and then backtrack back to that portal, and you get the idea. It makes it less fun overall. They're still both good games, but I think Metroid Prime 1's better. Mission final. Percentage complete, 100%. Total time, 12:17. 12 hours and 17 minutes. Probably more there in terms of the total looking time. I'd say about 15. No, not 15. 14. If I'm talking about the total look time. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't save because I never actually found it. But yeah, this is the first time I 100% this game. And I'm pretty happy about that, honestly. So, yeah, that's it. Woo! Yeah, baby. Oh, but we're not done just yet. Because I got 100%, there's one little extra thing we get to see. absolutely no context as to how Dark Samus came back, but she came back. So, you know. Bullshit! Righty then. I am Nintendo Meta God, aka Lord Fluffy. Thank you guys for watching the finale of Metroid Prime 2 Let's Play. And I will see you guys in the next video.